everyone, it's Robyn Eckersley, and this is the second episode of the Activated Women podcast with Robyn Eckersley. And we actually have two videos this week. I'm so excited because I get to speak with two amazing women. Today, I'm going to be speaking with Kim Bavilacqua of Handing Hope, and she's just going to join me in just a second. So I'm going to get everything situated from the tech side, so bear with me. And then I will be... I will be adding her. Here we go. Kim, are you there? It says it's adding, it's happening, it's connecting. Hi, Kim, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm so excited.
It made it on.
Technology.
I know, right? Oh, these things are crazy.
I know. Thanks so much for bearing with me, and thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Well, I am so excited that you're here today as my second guest on this brand new podcast because I completely loved our conversation that we had about Handing Hope, about our respective backgrounds. We just really hit it off, and I was just so moved by the work that you're doing and all the goodness that you're putting out there in the world. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
So one of the things that this podcast loves to focus on is women who are living their, I don't want to say their best lives. I want to say women who are living activated lives. I think you're a perfect example of someone who knows their values and you're walking in your values and you're changing a lot of people's worlds as a result. So if you could describe your core values, what you stand for, what would you describe them as?
I would say my core values are freedom. I have a gypsy soul, so I love to be just doing my thing whenever I want to do it, wherever I want to do it. Like that's probably my top core value. Fun is definitely a core value for me. If it's not fun, I'm usually like, yeah, I'm out.
That's a non-negotiable.
I have to have fun. Yeah, faith and family. Those are probably, I would say, my top four. Faith, definitely, and family is hugely important to me.
Awesome. So when you describe those core values, how do you think you came to know those? How do you think you came to be conscious of those values? Because a lot of times we go through life living according to a set of values, but we don't necessarily explicitly articulate them. What was your journey into stepping into living your values consciously?
I think that if you begin to focus on self-discovery, and I think as we age, we start to think about things like there's more here, there's more I could be doing, how am I going to leave my mark? I just think it starts from that kind of thought process, and then as you listen to different things, you expose yourself to personal development, you start meeting different people, and you get outside of that little square box that you were in before. I think then it just starts clicking, and then you come across things like core values. What are they? What are mine? I'm curious to know. And then it just kind of rolls from there. And I think once you define that, you begin to understand that when you were living outside of those and you were miserable in certain areas, kind of explains why. When you're true to your values and living true to who you are as self, like it's so much more peaceful. And even like I joke and tell my friends, like even picking a spouse, do you know what their core values are? Like it affects so many different things when you know who you are and you identify who other people are, business partners, whatever. Like those are your tribe. You start collecting your tribe.
Yes, I love that. And I love how you mentioned it's so important when we're building a life, whether it's business or a relationship or a family or a community. It's so important for us to be clear on the values of those other people that we're including in our bubble and having those conversations.
Absolutely.
Yes.
For sure.
So how did you come in to Handing Hope? Can you give us the story of the background and a little bit about that journey?
Sure. So about 10 years ago, I was a single mom. I was raising a daughter on my own, had been divorced, and was having some health issues. Went to the doctor and, thinking, oh, it's routine, whatever. And it was a cancer diagnosis. And I remember sitting there, my 3-year-old's there, and thinking, really? I'm not having this. Like, this is not, I'm got in the car, I was talking to God, like, really, this is how it's going to go down. I can't get on board with this. And so I'm all about like taking those collective experiences that life hands you. When it's lemons, you make lemonade. I'm about giving back, bringing hope. I've always had hope myself. And so he used that journey to then help me to, my best friend who does Handing Hope with me is the co-founder also, Jen Koffel. She had gone through it. I had gone through cancer, and then we had gone through a series of loss. She lost her mom, she lost her dad, and her other best friend within about 2.5, 3 year time span. So we were stuck in this bubble of like grief, survivorship. And so then we started thinking, what can we do that could help others and let God take this from the trial to the triumph? Like, what could we do? And so we're both moms, we love kids. And so we were like, you know what? We're going to start a nonprofit and we're going to help kids with cancer. And we had been teaching, HOPE is an acronym for helping others through prevention and education. And for the past decade, we had been teaching that already. And we thought, why not take what we know and really just reach out to kids with cancer and let's do something really cool. And so the Lollipop Tree Project was birthed from all of that, and the nonprofit was birthed from all of that.
Amazing, amazing. So you took the journey and experience that you had with your own experience with cancer, and you took a look at your family, you took a look at where you were in your life, and you're saying, I'm not going to sit back and let this happen. I'm going to take my journey and I'm going to be proactive about it, and I'm going to pay it forward to other people.
That's important. It's so important.
Yeah.
So important.
Yeah. So how did you come to the lollipop tree? I love this part of the story. Can you tell us a little bit about the history of the lollipop tree and what went into that?
Sure. So we started thinking about, okay, this is what we stand for, prevention and education. And we knew in our own research that sugar is it feeds cancer. And so it really, sugar is not great for us at all anyway, but when you have cancer, it promotes cancer growth. The cells grow more rapidly. So we started looking at and thought, we should really start something that would do something positive for kids. What are they giving them after chemo? They have mouth sores, terrible, like that tin taste from, when they're cleaning out the heparin push gives them that yucky taste in their mouth. So we thought, what could we be doing that would be educational and prevention and, that kind of focused, but also comforting and joyful and bringing smiles to kids? Well, what do you get? You get a treat after treatment, right? That's like a huge thing for them. They wait for that sucker, but those suckers were full of sugar. So we thought, this is what we're going to do. We're going to take little lollipop trees, and they're just little wooden trees. They're about 12, 18 inches tall. They're filled with lollipops. And, we leave them at nurses' stations, and kids can come and pick one. But the beautiful thing about them is they're not flavored with sugar. They're flavored with a natural birch xylitol. They're gluten-free, soy-free, nut, dairy, allergen-free. So any kid that, even if they have certain dietary restrictions outside of the cancer, can absolutely use them. And they still get the comfort. The medical teams love them because it's a guilt-free way of like, hey, this is something good that you can have. Parents love them. And so it was a beautiful fit. Beautiful fit.
It sounds like a win-win situation just all around.
Completely.
Yeah. Very cool. So how did you come to the decision to start a nonprofit around this? Because there's many ways for people to help, kids with cancer specifically. What was the thought process in deciding, hey, I'm gonna start an organization and I'm gonna go, and go the full length with the paperwork for a nonprofit? And I know it's not a straightforward process. So how did you decide to kind of go that route over others?
I think my best friend Jen and I are very visionary people. Like we're kind of the go big or go home people. So like I don't ever think it was an option to just, I think we thought we need to be organized. We think on a large scale. So we're like, we want to be nationwide. We don't just want to be in Illinois. We want to be in every single place that is treating kids with cancer. We want our trees there.
Mm.
So when you start with that vision, I don't really think you have a choice to just be like, oh, we're just going to go and do, you know what I mean? Like, and it lends credibility to what you're doing. It's a legit project when you
Mm.
have a legit organization, I think too.
Yeah, yeah. So having that kind of structure around it and the name recognition, you start to get more, I guess,
Hmm.
more people paying attention, more people taking this project seriously. You get that
Seriously.
clout.
Hmm.
Mm.
Hmm.
Awesome.
For
So, how
sure.
long has Handing Hope been around?
We actually incorporated in 2011.
Mhm.
So it was around for a while, but then with my cancer and the loss, the project was kind of shelved for a little while. So 2015, New Year's Eve, we made our first call to our first hospital to see if they would like a tree. And they were thrilled, and we were so excited, and it just took off from there. And the thing that a lot of people don't know is that once we bring that tree, we call it a planting. Um, we sustain it for forever. So that's that's it's an important piece. Like it's just not we one time, we're auto shipping to these hospitals
Mm.
on a monthly or bi-monthly depending on what their usage is. So we have to come up with funding to continue that, and we're in 10 states right now, and we have about 23 trees that we support.
Amazing. Oh my gosh. So the
I know.
hospital, yeah, so the hospital purchases the tree, the planting. They facilitate the planting.
No, we raise all the money to do it, to bring, it's a gift
Oh
to the
my
hospitals.
gosh. Amazing.
Yes, so it's a gift. They don't have to do anything. It's a gift that we bring and then keep.
Oh my gosh. Incredible. So if there are any hospital staff or people in the medical community who would like to bring a tree to their hospital, how can they go about doing that?
They can absolutely contact us. Just send us an email at info@handinghope.org, and we can connect with them and then talk about the logistics of what that takes, all
Amazing.
of that.
Oh, so cool. Excellent. So you're not just changing, kids' lives, you're actually providing a role model for people who have been through a struggle and transforming that experience into something beautiful to help others at the same time. Okay, let's try this again. There she is. Hi, Kim.
Hey, take two.
Take
Oh,
two. All right.
Murphy's Law. I'm telling you, it's Murphy's Law. Whatever will go crazy will. On live. Absolutely on live.
Yeah, I know. Well, if Murphy can just hang out for a minute and let us finish our
Right.
conversation, we would
Exactly.
appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Cool. Okay. So thanks for the background on Handing Hope and for the information on how others can support your mission and your organization and request a tree. Um, let's talk about you as a source of inspiration. If there's someone out there who's going through a tough time and they're thinking, I don't even know what kind of good is going to come out of this, they're really feeling kind of in the swamp, in the dumps. What kind of inspirational words or vision would you offer that person who's in their position?
I would say that there is always hope. Like, I believe in speaking words of life to people and words of encouragement. Because when we're like down in those deepest places that are just hard, we
Yeah.
need somebody to come alongside us and speak truth to us and tell us, you know what? There's always hope. This situation may not work out the way that you think it will, but it will work out. Something, good can come of it if you allow that, because that's the choice piece. And when you're in that bad place, you can't see down the road to, how is this going to work out? What is this going to look like? But
Mm,
if you will allow yourself hope, there will be something good that you can turn the trial into a triumph. Doesn't mean you have
mm,
to start a nonprofit. It just means that maybe next time you'll come across somebody in that situation and be able to speak the truth to them, and
mm.
that's that's powerful.
Yes, yes. So it's not trying to predict the future. It sounds like that's an important part of this
Mm-hmm.
is what I expect to get out of this.
Mm-hmm.
It's just allowing space to simply be
Mm-hmm.
hopeful.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So in your journey with Handing Hope and through your process, surviving cancer and going through, being a single mom, going through divorce, things like that, what was your source of strength? Where were those moments of strength to keep you going through those tough times? When hope was perhaps a little bit more elusive, what was your source?
Faith, absolutely my faith. Like
Mm.
that was a huge component, a place to lay the burden down and to get alone and just be alone with my creator and just to cry out and be like, look, this stinks. Like this stuff is hard. But then just receiving that love and I also have a fabulous family. I have incredible friends. So I have a really intact support system, but like on
Mhm.
the times where nobody really knows what to say to you, for me, it's just that alone time, just my faith walk.
Mm. Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, a source of faith can be extremely strong. And it can be
Mm-hmm.
so motivating to keep us going.
Mm-hmm.
So, in the journey of trial to triumph, which I love how you phrase that, we can go from the struggle, the trial, from struggling to surviving, and then trying to get back to normal, and then trying to thrive and really take it further. Because there's so many points along your journey where you could
Mm-hmm.
have said, I just want to get back to normal life.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to get through the divorce. I just want to get past this illness and live life normally.
Mm-hmm.
What was it that spurred you to take it further and to give back? Because you didn't have to do that. What was it that was that whole, there's no turning back? I'm going in on this and it's non negotiable.
I honestly believe it was the way I was created. From the time that I have been like a young person, I have always been about helping others and having hope. And so it's something kind of just in me personally. But I think that when you are traveling, I loved how you phrased out that little time frame. When you're in the hard part and you're thinking,
Mm-hmm.
I can't get out of bed today, like, and then
Yeah.
the days start to get a little easier and then you can get out of bed, then you can take a shower, then you can like, okay, I can work today. Like when you start going through that, it's not until you come out on the other side that if you'll look back at the reality of what like God brought me through, it would be so wasted not to turn around and say to
Mm.
someone else as a survivor, because survivors are your biggest cheerleaders. They're the ones that the people in the battle look to and say, they did it, I can do it. If
Mm.
she can get through
Mhm.
it and go and be a single mom and do this and do this and do this, I can do that. And I think that's when we see like real change on the planet is when people can be an inspiration to someone else to help them through their time so then they can, it's like that chain reaction of if you'll use it for good, it will be used for good.
I love it. I love it. This sounds like it's just part of your identity. It's part of your
I think
DNA.
so. Thank God for that. I'm so thankful for that, honestly.
I mean, yeah, just think about the lives that you continually change and who knows who else you're going to impact along the way. You just sharing your story, whoever's watching this and whoever watches this in the future, they're having the opportunity to maybe think about their own situation a little
Mm-hmm.
bit differently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what's next for Handing Hope? What's the next step
Oh
for
my
you
God.
guys?
There's so much vision there and so much like excitement. So the Lollipop Tree Project, being nationwide, that's a huge piece. We want to be in every state. We definitely, that's like our top priority right now is the Lollipop Tree Project. But we also are looking for, um, one of my dreams is to have a center for hope. So a local place where people could actually come in and just be loved on, bring resources to them for what they need, whatever they're looking for, just like a place, like a hub of hope where you come in and you just get what you need. Because the world needs that for sure. Everybody
Yeah,
needs hope. And so
absolutely.
that's a huge goal that we would love to do. And then we're looking for some beachfront property where we can have survivor retreats And we can also send children, cancer affects people's bank book terribly. Like, it can cause financial ruination in a family, especially if just
Absolutely.
maybe one parent is working and, there's other children. Like, it can really damage people. And so we'd like to have a place where we could send families where it wouldn't cost them anything. They could have a beautiful spot like on the beach, making memories, whether their kids are thriving or they're struggling, that time away where you don't have to worry about anything but just being together is
Mm,
huge. I think that could be huge
yeah,
for just blessing families.
absolutely. Absolutely. And it's these types of things that maybe we don't think about until we're thrown into the situation.
Hmm. For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh, Kim, thank you so much. My gosh, there's so much good to be done in the world, and you're doing so much of it. Something from the personal side, as givers, as someone who's providing hope, as someone who's really willing to dig in and get your hands dirty and do the hard work to bring hope to other people, how do you take care of you? How do you recharge your batteries?
I have a really good morning routine that just helps me settle in for the day. So, like some prayer time and some visualization time and some goal setting time, and just
Mm-hmm.
to keep what's important in the forefront of like my mind to start the day. And then
Mm-hmm.
I love to travel. I love to drink a nice glass of wine with my pals, which I see you guys on here. And so I like to be with my peeps, and I love to laugh myself silly because I believe it's total medicine for the soul. So I laugh on a daily basis, mostly at myself. But and I love to travel. Like, and I love the beach. That's like my center spot. So
Mm.
it's when I'm like one with the planet. So I love to get to the beach. Any excuse to get to the beach, I'm going.
Well, the Center for Hope and the Survivors Retreat space, that's an excellent decision
I
or an excellent
know.
reason to get to the beach, right?
Absolutely, for sure. I'm ready to lead those retreats.
Yes. Yes. So, is there anything that specifically you'd like to request from people who are watching? Anything that they can do to help you in your mission, help the organization? What would you like to request out there?
Okay. Ooh, this is the laundry list right here.
Take notes, guys.
That's right. Well, first of all, we love getting the message out on Facebook. So even the simple things, just to like us on Facebook, we love that, so that you can keep in touch with us and see what we're up to. For our local people, we have some fun runs happening that you can, if you want some information about when those runs are happening. Our next one is July 7th. We're looking for volunteers for the fun runs, and so you would come volunteer for a couple of hours, and Handing Hope will benefit financially from that. We
Okay.
also have our giving circle. And so on our website, you can see all the different levels of donation. But our giving circle is our real big push for 2018. And it's to raise $1 million. So it's 1,000 either
Ooh.
individuals, groups, organizations, get some of your friends together and do $1,000 donation. And we have this really cool poster that we had an artist do specifically for the project. So everybody will get a personalized poster, just letting them know that, hey, thanks for being part of our giving circle, and, to make that happen, because that can plant a lot of lollipop trees like that. That's what that push is specifically for. So, volunteers, obviously donations, and, just linking arms with us and saying, hey, I support what you do. And because we all know somebody affected, we all
Yes.
know cancer is an epidemic. So we don't go without knowing people in our own lives, in our own circles. So those types of things, and our site, we have a video. So if people want to check us out, we're actually at a hospital with a lollipop tree, so they can kind of see like what we do hands on. So they can check that out. And then we have tons of info on there. We partner with schools. We do wellness workshops. So if there's people wanting that prevention and education, we have a shop and share program that supports us. So there's everything is on the site for people to really, check it out and see where do they want to get involved.
Amazing. Amazing. So many different channels to help support
Mm-hmm.
you and this mission.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Awesome. Cool. Well, Kim, remind us where you're calling from, because when you say local and the fun runs, this
Oh,
video is
yes.
going
We
everywhere.
that's right. I forget about this. It's like global.
Yes.
We are the fun runs are located at the Chicagoland Speedway in Joliet, Illinois. So anybody in that Joliet area and surrounding suburbs, even up to the city, Chicago, we
Mhm.
would love to have you.
Excellent. Oh, so exciting. Lots of good things. I wish you all the best, Kim.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much. And thanks for what
Absolutely.
you're
Thank
doing and
you.
like bringing awareness to people about just cool things people are doing. Like I love to see what jazzes people, what their missions are, what they're doing. I love to see that. And so the fact that you are blasting that out and just finding cool people, I love what you're doing. I love it.
Thank you.
Love it.
Thank you. I feel like we could all use a little bit more sunshine and inspiration out
That's the
there.
truth. That's
And
so the truth.
I have no doubt that your story and your journey is going to trigger something in someone else, and who knows what they're going to create as a result.
That would
So
be
thank you so
cool.
much for being here and for being open. And I can't wait to connect with you in the future. So I we don't have any trees in Nevada, is that right?
We don't. So bring me to Vegas, baby.
Okay, I have some contacts for you. I definitely have some
Wonderful.
introductions.
You can come with me on the planting. You can come with me to plant it.
That would be
Wouldn't that be
incredible.
so fun?
That would be
We'll
so
Facebook
cool.
Live that. That's our next Facebook Live date right there.
Yes, yes,
For sure.
exactly. Let's do it. We'll make it happen.
Awesome.
Well, thanks so much, Kim. I'll talk to you
Thank you
soon
so
and have
much.
a wonderful week.
Have a great day. Bye, honey.
Bye.